That's a Guila watering hole. Let's just wait, let that lady go. Fill up for the day for himself. We've just dropped Kenny off at the train station. He's on his way back to England now. And I've got to decide over the next day or two how long I'm staying. Got the first beam in situ. Chipping away at the next one. Drop the blocks in. I think we're ready to go then at that. Lovely hot day here. Right, time for a drink. A swig of my pop. Because I don't do water as much as I should do, but I like the older continental iced tea. It'll do me. Right, back to work. Several projects going on at once here. Leaving the guys to get on with the serious stuff. I'm playing in here. I think I mentioned before, every room I'd like to have a feature wall of the stonework, but although I've knocked that off there, that isn't going to be the feature wall. But I don't like this crumbly wall. Look, it's all comes apart, comes off. I like the idea of a nice white wall, like that was originally, but I feel as though I'm probably going to work around the fact that I do like that effect. Nice. Inside this bedroom, that wall's going to be the same, and inside this, I'm trying to make it into a nice curved wall there for a bit of quirkiness. I believe the way I'm going at the moment, I've got to build this wall up because that's going to support the slab that the stove's going to go on above ground. So obviously got to support that there. I've got to knock some pins in the wall as I go along to make it sturdier. And when we get past a certain point, I will actually, probably a little bit higher than that one, I'll probably actually put some shelves fitted in across for some more storage space, basically. Then draw a curtain across it like the Portuguese do, or possibly even do some wooden doors on it at some point. But ongoing with that job is an increase in this wall, which I've done one block up since I've got here, and one shelf in situ. So I've got to build that one up and go again there. I've got to be a bit careful to be able to get to the back for my pipe work. Obviously that's a cold water supply. I've got to get the hot water supply in and tested before I go too far, else I'm going to have problems dealing with my pipe work. I did get this one up to the ceiling. Obviously all this one's cutting back with a Stanley knife or a serrated knife, and then filled in at the top like the rest is going to be done when we get to it. So I'm dancing about from job to job, but I feel as I want to get the construction stuff done and the demolition stuff done first. So we're bashing that wall, even though that isn't going to be the wall that I'm going to be the feature wall. That's going to be a smooth white one. But that will end up being the back of the wardrobe, so you won't see it anyway, but I will tidy it up before I go. And I think I shall end up bashing this wall to bits back to get the original stone feature on that wall.
Can I nick some of your...
You can. We've come to the point.
Just like that, second
Now
story.
don't I, Paul, because you're part of this big, the grand scheme of things. You walked away when I was filming this.
Yeah, he's trying to get the ball from under the ears.
Oh, sorry, as if you was embarrassed. Yeah, be proud. Good man, good men. Look at that. Dancing on that in a couple of weeks' time. Looking good. Paul's finishing his dinner. Look at Odin. Man Mountain.
That's alright.
I like it.
Yeah, anything quite happens, mate. They were longer.
So how quickly they go in now. Tap, tap, tap. It is a lovely system, isn't it, really?
The blocks there, it's
Yeah.
much better than the old forming system.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Friday the 6th, 7:15. It's dark outside. These Portuguese mornings, a bit like England, they're a bit. They have nights of drawing in, etc., etc. But time for a bit of breakfast, and we'll crack on. I've got today. I've got. Let me see it there. Yeah. Cornflakes. Oh, cornflakes and some banana. Give me a bit more energy. And a couple of Lipton tea because we've run out of the Asda stuff. Right, we'll crack on, have a bit of breakfast, and then we'll get started for today. First thing this morning, knocking off some of that white dusty old plaster. Crumbly and not nice. Right, I think we're going to have to go and get some water from the watering hole. We're having to go with this new pipe system. Put the hot water system in. I've got the cold to the tap, from the tap down to there, and then it goes up there into the loft. I've now got to go in reverse and connect up the hot water system, but I'm going to attack it from the furthest end first, I think. And one thing I will tell you good folk out there, that when you're doing one of these projects, far better to go with the local produce and one that you know. I've bought some copper pipe over here, and it's illegal to use copper pipe, but I suppose it's a retrofit in a sense, because I didn't have any pipe work here to start with. But I'm getting all sorts of adapters going on here to make things fit. I would recommend going on to this plastic pipe, or PEC pipe I think they call it, something like that. They've probably got their own name over here, but it's basically there's a liner and plastic on the outside, and you crimp them, or you can use a compression type fitting as well, and I'm having to adapt from that. But I've got all my hot water linked together, ready to come out, and as you can see I've got a mixture of stainless, copper, different size pipes, which probably will affect the flow of it and everything, but I'm not unduly worried about that. As long as I turn the tap on, it goes. As long as I flush the toilet, it flushes. But going back in anticipation of the hot water, this is where I'm up to with it now. I've got hot water supplied to the sink, the bath. We haven't got the shower connected, but there is actually a stopcock behind that wood with the hot water ready to connect up to. The bidet, that's it downstairs. So I'm taking this pipe up across, up, then connecting up with the sink in the kitchen, then up through the ceiling into the roof to connect up to the hot water tank at some point, but I just wanted to try and test all the hot water system, but I haven't finished off yet. So with this latest adaptation, what we do, we have a fitting here. I'll show you. And that goes on to another fitting, which is this one, which is in view. This one here. So this one goes on there, and then that screws up there, and the washers, the olive inside nips it tight, makes a seal. I'm just going to put the camera down to do this bit, and then I'll come back on it for you. Right, so I've got this clamped up really tight. The next thing is to prepare the pipe. This is done with a compression nut on first, and that's the ring there, and then sorry about this, it's got a mind of its own. What we do there, let me see or not, put the rings on there, that gets pushed into the end of the pipe, then the nut clamps up again. I'm going to have to put the camera off while I do this bit. Right, this is what we've got to do now. We've got to back feed it like a big old snake, and it's stiff, but you can bend it over your knee or pull it round. Now I've got to drag it all the way through up into the kitchen area, and I've got a steady curve on it as well because I don't like sharp corners. So this will take a few minutes to get this bit done. This, you know, you can't wish for better, guys. The bleed for me. This one sweats like a bucket for me.
Not so much today.
Where's it, Mark? Where's it? He breaks into a mild Good morning everyone, it's a Saturday morning. I'm on my own today, the builder's weekend off. I'm just going to quickly show what I've been doing this morning. Oh, back downstairs in the bathroom. Now remember, we've connected up the hot water supply. So they're the fittings that we had to fetch yesterday, taken onto this PEX pipe. So we end up going all the way through here. So that's been boarded in, so you won't see the pipes from finished. You have to have gentle sweeps with the PEX pipe though, you can't have sharp elbows. Then we're taking it all the way up there. Quick whiz upstairs. So it's come through the floor there, up there. I've got to tee it off to the hot water supply here, and then basically it goes up at the side of the cold water one up into the loft. Now I'm going to have fun and games trying to feed all of this through. It's got a mind of its own, it just wants to go wherever it wants to, but if you make a straight path for it, it's good stuff to use. And it's a fix once and forget about it scenario. So I'm happy with the prospect of it, but it's just the application of it at the moment. But I'm sure we'll get there. 10:32, time for coffee. The usual things happened here. I've got about 4 jobs on the go at once. I've got the pipe work up, the hot water, so that's a success. I'm happy with that. I've been setting up myself 2 jobs here. One, tidying up this corner where Martin and Paul had put the beam in, which in theory means I can start taking that wall down safely to put that window in. But I also want to use some of these stones that I'm tidying up to fill in that window. So at some point I've got this, tidy all that up. I haven't been wasting that. I've took it downstairs by bucket, and I've been using it infill in the bathroom. So I filled there, and at the end there with all the crap from upstairs as infill, and then I've just put, that was a solid bit, we had some waste left over yesterday, so rather than lose it I quickly chucked it in there, because what's happening in this side is that the pipes, waste pipes lead from the shower there and the bath there, and they're all underground, and Martin said, why don't you just put a few stones, gravel over the top of it, and then actually give it a light, because there's not a lot of traffic, it's only foot traffic in the bathroom, so it doesn't need to be an excessively deep fill. He said fill it all over, then if you need to get the pipes you can crack the concrete from the top, you won't have so far to go to find your pipes to deal with them. And I thought it's a good idea, that is. So I've been using my off stuff from upstairs on that one, but then the usual pipe work problems that I nearly always have, leaks. So now that bottom joint, yeah, it's the bottom joint because I haven't connected up the top one yet. Bottom joint's cold water and there's some on the floor here, some wet, and it's that corner union, that corner elbow. And now I've been struggling to find me 32mm spanner. I've got that one which does it, but it's awkward to get in, to be honest with you. So I thought, right, time to ease up again. Don't panic about it. There's 2 spanners here, but it ain't the 32 that I want. That's a 30. That's a 24. I'll just, aha. I knew it would come if I waited long enough. There it is. Right, I'm going to have a cup of coffee, then I'll come down and have another look. See if I can get that leak sorted, then move on to the other bits again. Although it says keep calm and have a tea. 10 o'clock is always coffee and bickies. Have a cup of tea in the morning, but definitely coffee time. Gives me a chance to have a rethink what I want to do. As you can see, the place is a tip. All that hard work Chris and Eric did when they came over last time. But don't worry, boys, I always have a day. The last full day is never work, it's about tidying up, hoovering through and trying to make it look better for when I come next time, before I start bashing it about again. I can live like this. I'm getting a bit fed up, if I'm honest with you. It's nearly time to go back to Blighty, but we've just got to get these jobs finished while I'm here, and while I've got the workforce here. Tomorrow's Sunday. Monday, the guys are coming back and they tell me that this roof will be concreted by then. And then another day to leave it to dry, and then you can walk on it with just one solid slab, apparently. Then they'll be moving on to the roof. I've been and ordered the materials from Suffragans, the builders merchants. Today I should be attempting to take that window out and block it up. At the same time I shall be attempting to open that window up as well. Like I said earlier, I've got that many little jobs to be on with. Pinch the bulb out of that there, so that we can have light in this corner, and of course at night time there's no light in there. So again, while it's daylight, I'm going to attempt to fix that up there. Another one of those 10-minute jobs that ends up taking about an hour because you can't find the tools, but hey ho. Right, I'm going to sit down and have my coffee, have a little cogitate about the next couple of hours or so. We'll see how we get on. As usual with these 5-minute jobs, they turn into a major disaster. So you have to get out the prayer mat. Now, me being a Christian, I do say my prayers. I need guidance and help. And these sort of things are the rear ones that here's the light, look. There's my problem. Now you get so many contradictions with these compression fittings. Some people say use tape, some people say don't use tape. I've always put tape on, but I've never been convinced with it because squeezing up the nuts should be enough to push the ferrule on and seal on the ferrule. But invariably there's slight movements and then you think, oh, I'll put a bit of tape on, that'll just take up the slack. I've been moving pipework about at the other end, so it didn't surprise me. You just have to keep going until you've spotted them all. Hence the reason I've got, in this bedroom here, I've got a little opening here for these sort of problems, get to it at the back of the bath. So it's going to take a few more minutes and hopefully I can solve it. I'll connect it up, put the water back on and see if it stopped dripping. If it has, then you have to leave it a couple of days to dry out. Make sure there's no water. I should wipe that container out and put it on underneath the corner just to make sure. Then you've got to wait for all your concrete that's been dripping for I don't know how long to dry out again. But hey, these things happen. This is what happens. Quarter of an hour later, you're connected up. Then you think, hello, what's happening there? That looks a bit wet. Then you go along here, look. And there's water on that bit of wood there. And it's coming from another connection. So, away we go again. I can't waste any more time on that job. I'll have to come back later to see how that's fared. I need to get on with some more constructive stuff. Now, although I like these old beams, if you listen carefully, now he's gone. They chew the beams. When I'm sat listening to telly, you can hear her. So if he starts chewing again, I'll put it back on. Can you hear it? He's chewing like our beams. Not the fly, the click, click, click. That's why you have to get rid of your wood, sadly. I've got my new lights put back up, but then the old Portuguese one. It's another job done. Right, it's dinner time now, so we're gonna have a break. Then we'll start looking at one of these other jobs, which I think is going to be some mixing and bashing. I'll look from the other side, I think. Couple of hours further on, and we have the window out, just held in by nails and blocks of wood. But these Portuguese know how to make an house stand. The thickness of that door. Yeah, I was just thinking that this would be quite a nice little serving hatch for drinks on the terrace. But unfortunately, it can't because I've got plans for that window, or that window space, or we'll reveal later. Another mix, another layer. See where we're going with that. I've got rid of most of that little pile there. I've got a pile here, then I'm going to start taking some out to use. Saves me taking them downstairs. I can use them all, so it's just a jigsaw puzzle. Quite therapeutic. 4:30 on a Saturday, and it's 31.5 degrees. It's actually just starting to cool down a bit now. Just want to come outside and see what it looked like from out here. I suppose once the cement's gone off, it'll be alright, won't it? Because I'm going to plaster all this anyway. Or render it. Need rendering all of it. Just push it in the gaps, hold it into place. Yeah, I'm alright with that, isn't it? Come out and render the other bits one of what the old feel, about quarter to the third of the way up at the moment. Steady progress. It's hard work mixing though. I ought to have done it this morning when it's a bit cooler, but it's starting to cool a bit now, so I'll carry on for a little bit longer. Row 4. Window is slowly shrinking, which is keeping the heat out. And that's just took my first block from under the beam there, so I can start taking some more of that out.